name's Newlove, and as usual, I have an amazing guest in the studio. I have a lovely gentleman, so we're changing it up because people are starting to think that my show is a women empowerment show, but it's not. So as I said, a lovely gentleman on the show, but before I introduce him, make sure you share this with everyone. We're live on YouTube, Omega Live TV live on YouTube, and we're also live here on Facebook. Hit that like button, and as I said, share, because we're going to get some good financial advice today. We're going to get some financial tips and hear this man's amazing story into entrepreneurship. I'd like to thank all my sponsors, as I always do. And the most important sponsor is Omega House, multimedia company who power Omega Live TV. They are situated on West Green Road in North London, right next to Uncle John's Bakery, so you cannot miss them. You can go to them for all your multimedia needs, printing, video coverage of events, key rings. I mean, they print on everything, t-shirts, whatever it is to do multimedia. Omega House, multimedia company on West Green Road. So yes, as I said, I have an amazing guest in the studio. I'm so happy to have him here. I've been watching him on social media and he's doing amazing things within the community and also amongst the millennials. He's teaching the importance of financial freedom, and he's also teaching how to, you know, manage your money, your finances and all that. His name is Emmanuel
Asuquo.
Hey. Let me just say his name is Emmanuel. He's going to introduce himself. Emmanuel Asuquo, he is the founder of Noir Excel. At the end, he's going to tell us all about Noir Excel and what he's doing. But we want to hear his story. We want him to inspire us. We want to hear about his lifestyle, because this guy's got money. He's got the peas. And, you know, he deserves to have the peas because he's worked really hard to get here. So, Emmanuel, welcome to Gold Diggers.
Thank you for having me. Come on in the house.
I'm so happy to have you here, like seriously.
Thank you. No, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so for those that don't know you, you know, who is Emmanuel?
Good question. Emmanuel's many different people, I guess.
I can see that.
Most important, I guess, I'm a husband, I'm a father, and my family comes first, and that's what's most important to me. I'm a child of God. Always have been. I'm a family man. I've got 2 sisters, mum, dad, and we're very close. And yeah, that makes up, I guess, Emmanuel. But then I've got this other alter ego side that's all about finance, empowering, trying to spread knowledge, motivation, love, you know, and really just trying to encourage people to be the best version of themselves. And that makes up me.
That makes up you.
Yeah.
Wow. You got it going on.
Come on. Try it.
I love the way you say come on. That's my new word now. Come on.
Come on.
So, Noir Excel.
Yes.
Before we talk about Noir Excel, how did you get into finance? Let's talk about your childhood. Yeah,
it's a good question. So I guess finance started for me from my father. My father is a qualified accountant. Okay. So I guess being Nigerian, when your father's an accountant, he wants you to emulate or to be better than what he done. And so I wanted to do marketing or one of these type of things, but my dad was like, no.
You have to be an accountant.
You have to go be an accountant. So he sent me to uni to do accounting, but I knew I couldn't do accounting alone. So I did accounting and finance. Okay. And I did an accounting and finance degree.
And how was that?
It was good. It was good. I hated the account side. Accounts is boring.
Yeah, accounting
but
is hard.
I love the finance side, you know, changing and realizing the economy and realizing that it's all around us. We live it, whether you know it or you don't know it. We live economics and money in our daily lives. Do you know what I mean? And so learning about that and seeing the practical elements of it worked for me. And I guess coming from where I come from, I grew up in Tower Hamlets, East London. So there's 2 sides. I came from the poorer side, so the estate side, and then the other side.
Has Tower Hamlets got a nice side?
It's called Canary Wharf.
So Canary Wharf is part of in
Tower Hamlets. So when you live on our side, you look out your window and you see the big towers. And for me, I always thought, wow, you know, like I remember my mum telling me, if you leave a room, you have to off the light. And then I looked out the window at night time and these people, all these buildings, they got lights on. I said, money must be there. there must be money there. The lights are on
Yeah.
in the night time. So I said, no, I wanted to, it inspired me to say, you know
so
what.
you always saw Canary
Always
Wharf
saw Canary Wharf.
Imagine seeing Canary Wharf every day.
Every day from your
window.
bedroom window. And just saying to yourself, you know what, I want that life. I don't know what's over there, but whatever it is, it's better than what I have here. And so that was my motivation. And so I got a job in Barclays. I said I wanted to work in the two buildings I could see most was Barclays and HSBC.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to be in one of those two buildings.
Wow.
So I got a job as a cashier at Barclays while I was doing my degree.
Okay.
And then I worked part-time. So I kind of tricked them. So I said to them, look, I'm coming full-time in the summer. And then when I went back to uni, I told them, I need to go part-time. Because
so
there was no
there
was no part-time jobs. And sometimes people have to realize,
Yeah.
if you want something, you got to make it happen.
It's true.
So I just went full-time, passed my probation, and then told them I wanted to go part-time. And they were like, yeah, great. Whereas if I tried to go part-time, there were no part-time jobs. So that's how I got
now
in.
there's a lot of flexibility
Now,
in the finance industry.
Exactly.
As to probably 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all changed. So so that's how I got in. And then basically when I finished my degree, they made me a financial advisor at 22, youngest financial advisor in the country, age 22. All my peers, in the country at that time, and all my peers were like, the average age of financial advisor was 55, and all my peers were late 40s, mid 50s. So literally all my colleagues could be my dad's age.
So what is a financial advisor?
Good question. So a financial advisor is someone who helps people, tends to be people with wealth, and helps them make their money work for them in a better way, but also helps them plan their future. I think a lot of us are walking in life but without a plan. And so there's that saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah.
And so what we do is help people have a plan, because we're out here, we're working hard, we're making this money, it's coming in, but it's going straight out. Or we're leaving our money in things that it doesn't grow. We're leaving it in the bank at 0 point something and saying, oh, I'm saving. At the end of the year, you're getting back what you put in. But inflation, the cost of living has gone up. So you're losing money in that.
Yeah.
So it's about trying to teach people and educate them that actually there are other options for you, and having a plan for your money so you can plan it out, look at where it can go, how you can make it work for you, how you can make it better, and then also then create wealth. And what's wealth? Wealth is when you make money for you. So wealth continues to go. So you don't, once you put your money into places where your money can begin to bring you an income, you're now building wealth, and that can then be passed on to generations. And that's how we get the term generational wealth. And that's what we help create.
I already feel like I'm learning. I already feel like I'm in some wealth management school. But as a financial planner, obviously you applied for the job not in branch.
No.
Because in branch, do they have financial planners?
Yeah, so they have financial planners that work in the branches.
Okay.
But you know, the personal bankers or the people that you see, they'll book the appointments for the financial advisors. So so once I got it, I managed my first day, I went top floor, Canary Wharf, and I looked back at my estate. And so something that I wanted to do when I was younger, I made reality. And I just want to tell people the importance of speaking things into existence, and then believing in it, and then writing it down. I wrote it down. I wrote it down on the wall. I saw it every day. I'm going to be in Canary Wharf. I'm going to be in Canary. I don't know how, but I'm going to be there. I'm going to be in there. And I did it.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, but then there were steps. A lot of people read the books and say that they write the stuff down, but there's no action.
I understand.
So it's about, yes, I've got a vision, but now my vision requires action. And when I put the two together, that's how I reach success.
Wow. So how long was you working as a financial advisor?
So I've been a financial advisor for 12 years. 12 years.
Because I think, I read in your bio over 10 years. So you was in Barclays, then Barclays to where?
So Barclays, then I went to Natwest, I was at Halifax, I've been to HSBC, then I've been independent at places like St. James's Place, so I've worked independently there, and then I've been completely independent in a small firm as well. So, and that's what I am now, just an independent financial advisor.
So when did you get to the point where you said to yourself, I want to be independent, I don't want to work for these banks no more, or you got the confidence to, go freelance, do it yourself?
You know what, I think at the same time, sometimes confidence makes you do it too early. So for me, I wanted it from when I was young. So I hated having a boss and someone telling you what to do, but actually that's your education. You need that. Sometimes you need to learn.
You need to serve
and learn how it's done, and become a master, especially when you want to give advice to people. these days, people, you go on one course and all of a sudden you're a mind coach or a this coach or that coach. Do you know what I mean?
A life coach.
A life coach with no life experience, and you haven't really experienced. You haven't had the lows or the tests, or you can only help a certain type of person because you haven't had enough different people come in. And see, that's what the banks allowed me to do, because you get a varied number of different clients. So now I'm at a position where I'm confident that 99% of the people I see in front, I would have seen their situation before. So I'm able to advise. That comes with experience. So yes, I had a qualification, but now I needed to do my apprenticeship, as they say, and get experience. And so I wanted to start when I was really young. When I was like 22, 23, I wanted to be my own boss, but I had to build up and build time and learn and develop to get to the point where we are today.
Okay, so how did Noir Excel begin, and how did you get the vision for it? Because there's a vision behind it.
Yeah.
And obviously I've read your bio, I've done my research, but obviously you're here to tell us.
No, definitely.
So let us know about the vision and how you started.
Yeah, so Noir Excel started 2 years ago. It was basically, for me, I had been a financial advisor for 10 years, but most of my clients didn't look like me, didn't come from the environments that I come from. And I said to myself, how do I get people that have my life experience or places where I've come from into the room so they can be getting advice? Because in this country, it's not necessarily about race, it's more about class. So financial advice, they won't say you can't come in here because you're black. They'll say only if you have 250K are we going to deal with you. So now we know that how many people from other ethnicities have these things. But for me, it was about how do I get financial advice to people that really need it? Because someone that already has 250K, they've got a good chance that they're going to be able to build wealth with or without a financial advisor. But somebody at the very beginning who maybe doesn't know how to budget, how to save.
Who has a dream like you once had a dream.
But doesn't have the support system and the coaching and the accountability, because that's what financial advisors really are. We're really people that you can be accountable to. I always say it's like a personal trainer. You can go to the gym and lift weights, but you're never going to do it quite the same as when you've got a personal trainer beside you.
That personal trainer's waiting for you.
Come on. And you've paid. So even when you feel like you don't want to go, you're like, I've paid for this, so I've got to go and use it. That's what we do. We're here. People think, we pick funds and we make money. And it's not that. Anyone can get lucky and pick the right fund to invest in. But it's about the planning. It's about the long-term support over time. It's about that accountability. It's about life happens. Things change. 1 minute you're in a top job. The next minute you've been made redundant. What do I do now? How do I cope? How do I make sure that the plans we get in place still get reached? Do you know what I mean? That's what we do in Coach. And so that's where we're coming from when it comes to being a financial advisor. And that was for me was like, how do I get this to people that maybe are not high net worth, people that haven't got loads of money? And so that's when I started Noir Excel, a financial education company. We focus on educating people to make better financial decisions, to make financial decisions that will actually help affect not only them but also their generations and start to change things.
And you're really doing that, because your events look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
And you see like normal black people there that really want to, they look up to you, they want to be like you, they want to understand how to get, create the wealth.
Exactly.
And it's so important to have someone like you in the community.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the fact that you can see someone, and maybe in our community, not that it's bad, but most people that we see that make it is probably going to be a musician, or they're gonna be a footballer or do sports or entertain in some way. And so for me, I love the fact that it's financial advice. It's not the most glamorous role in the world, but yet I'm being able to be put on platforms to be an example to someone that if you're great at what you do, you can still make it to television. If you're great at what you do, people will still pay you a lot of money to come and speak. People pay for your time. And so for me, that was what I want to really show people, is that there's different ways to do this. We don't all have to go down that other route. Yeah,
and the way you do it is so, you have different methods of teaching people, and that way you can get to all people at different intellectual levels, which I find really fascinating. And the fact that you're serving the black community, because someone like you could be like, forget it, I'm a top guy, I'm with the man them, I don't really need to go back. But you've gone back into your community, you want to help black people.
Yeah.
I'm assuming because Noir means black.
Yeah.
And how did you come up with the title Noir Excel?
Yeah, I think for me, a name is really important. My parents named me Emmanuel, and it means God with us. And through my life, that name has always been very important to me, because when I had the stage where you don't want to know God and you want to enjoy your life, people are forever calling you Emmanuel, and you're always remembering you're in the club, but God is with me. No matter where I run, God is with me. So name became really important to me, and having a name. And so for me, I wanted when people come to my company for it to represent black excellence. But I knew if I called it black excellence, you guys know it's too rough. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, how do I say black excellence without saying black excellence? So that's how we got to Noir.
And even with that, you can also attract other
definitely.
It's more diverse than Noir, because you can attract Indian people. You can still help white people. You can still whoever. And that's the thing now. For me, it's about, although we've got Noir Excel, and I want to help everybody who wants to be helped. I want anybody who wants to listen, but at the same time, I want to make sure that there's still a focus and people can still say, there's a company for us. That's good. Amazing. So if you just joined us, we have Emmanuel
Asuquo.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce it, in the studio. He's the founder of Noir Excel. He's had over 10 years in the finance industry as a financial advisor, and he's here to tell us and teach us and let us know about how he got here. I just wanted Emmanuel to come on the show because I think he's an inspiration for those who are watching. You might have a son who's studying accounting and finance or wants to work in the financial industry. He's just somebody good to follow. So let your children know. Share this with whoever you think may be interested in finance or financial wealth creation. Health is wealth these days. I mean, health is wealth is trending right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody wants to, make extra money. Everyone's tired of the 9 to 5. We're living in an entrepreneurial era.
Yep.
And even if you didn't want to be an entrepreneur, social media and society today has put that pressure on us that, it's important, and as black people, we're worth more. We can do what white people do. We can do what Italian people do, or Americans do. We can, because it used to be like the American dream, and we'd watch it on TV. With the big house and the big cars, and then we're in London watching these big films. Eating our jollof rice.
Exactly.
Talking about jollof, you do other things, and that's what's amazing about you. To reach out and to. How can I say not connect, but there's a word. But you do a lot of other stuff to connect to different audiences.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, not just about people who want to make money, but also, funny things, talk about life and the struggles, stories.
Exactly.
So you have this podcast.
Yes.
Called
The Good Jollof.
The Good Jollof podcast. How did that come to being, and what's that all about? Why did you start the podcast? Why did you see the importance of it?
So I mean, I've always wanted to do a podcast because I realized that, sometimes people don't just want to be told, do this and change this. I'm always the bad guy.
Because you have to find fun ways to make people, want to make money and understand the importance of prosperity.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's a good,
Definitely. And also for me, I feel like social media puts you in a box. It's like, you're the finance guy, so you can only ever talk about finance. Or you're the motivation person. Or you do hair. But no, just because I'm good at one thing doesn't mean that's all I can do or the only thing I can talk about.
Yeah.
And when it's my platform, I should be able to express myself in the many different ways that I have inside of me.
Come on.
And so for me, it's like, I do finance, but before I was doing finance, I was living a different life. Do you know what I mean? I haven't always been this intellectual person that's in boardrooms and sits with CEOs and directors and tells them what. I used to kick ball and, do you know what I mean? Do normal stuff like normal people. And it was things that happened to me in life and changes that I made and opportunities that I created through hard work that got me to where I am. And sometimes you need to show people that actually you're just normal, because people will put you in a pedestal and say, oh, no, because everything that comes out of your mouth is intellectual, you're not like the rest of us. No, we can't do that. No, yes, you can, because you'll realize when you watch this stuff that you're just as clever or even smarter than me, so that you have no excuse.
Yes.
If I can do it, you can do it and more. And so that's why we wanted to create a podcast, me and my guy Michael Tabarani. We wanted to create a podcast where we just talk about normal things.
And you talk about everything.
Yeah.
Like, what was I even? I wrote it down because I didn't want to forget. You spoke about. Did I write it down? No, I didn't. Okay. We'll get into that, sorry. But yeah,
No.
You speak about different things and not just about money. You talk about what's happening in the black community, you talk about food.
Food, relationships, everything. Everything, you know what I mean? And I feel it's important because it's just an opinion. It doesn't mean just because I said it, it must be right or because it comes from me. But this is how I think. This is how I feel. And sometimes people are shocked, like, oh, wow. But you're so, like when I talk about relationships and I talk about roles. So I'm a type of person that I believe that for a relationship to work, we all have roles to play within that marriage.
Yes.
And so for some people, they're like, no, everything's 50-50. And that's fine. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying for me, that's not going to work. And so some people say, oh, but, you know, you teach people about this and teach people like that. You should have a more open mind.
Have you ever had people say, why do you talk about marriage like, oh, it's not like that.
Yeah,
You're making it seem like it's so easy. You know, or you shouldn't share. Why are you teaching people how to share your money with your wife? Or, you put your money on the table, I put my money, we share it. Because the reality is a lot of African marriages are not like that.
They're not. And they should be. And I always say with my wife, if she's with me because she wants to be, not because she has to be, not because I as a husband have taken away all her security, taken away all the money, I control everything. So she has no choice. My wife, I helped my wife create her own business. She had the talent to do it and she's made it flourish. But I encourage her, have your own business, drive your own car, have your own, do you know what I mean? Have your independence so that when we're moving together because we know we want to be together rather than, and there's never a doubt. Do you know what I mean? And so for me,
just you're the breadwinner.
And that's it.
And then she's the housewife.
Because things happen. Life has happened. I've been made redundant several times. And if my wife didn't have an income, the house would collapse. Exactly. And so actually me investing in my wife was actually investing in myself. And so when we start to see that money that we bring into the house is ours, then it doesn't matter who makes more, who makes less, even though I always want to make more than my wife.
Well, you're the man.
So,
that's how it should be. But you know how life is today. Sometimes
people get upset. Talk like that. People get upset.
No, but it's the reality, and that's what I like about you. You're very real. You're very open. You know, you also have other shows, like little snippets you do on Wealth Wednesdays, Financial Fridays.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Wealth Wednesdays and then.
Yeah, so.
Oh, the marriage. No, as we're talking about your wife, let's start with Marriage Mondays.
So Marriage Mondays was just a case of a lot of my audience are female, and so they wanted to hear from my wife's point of view because I'm always posting about her, talking about her and so forth. So we said, look, let's do it together, and people loved it. I get even today because we stopped for a little while because I've been so busy doing so many things in the real world, and I think sometimes social media will get you living on social media, not making no money in the real world, and I needed to make money in the real world, so we didn't have time to film and so forth. But we're going to get back to it, and it's one of those things where we just talk. This is how we are. Like these are our opinions and how we work and why we work.
You're so open, the both of you. Like you talk about everything.
Yeah, I come from a background of if you want people to win, sometimes you have to tell them the mistakes you made, so they don't have to make them. And that's how we progress as a community. If our elders tell us that this is where I went wrong and this is where then you don't have to make those mistakes. That's how you reach success quicker and earlier in life. And then we can then pass that down. Because as a generation, as people, especially black people, we're behind a lot of other communities.
Yes.
And so we
are the most powerful.
And we're the most separated and broken up, and that's down to a lot of history. If you know your history, you know where it comes from. But we now have an opportunity where we've been educated enough and taught enough to know that actually our power comes from us being together and not seeing each other as competition, because we're too small to be competition. In this UK, we're like 4%.
Wow.
4%. So how can we be fighting? How can we not be sharing? How can we not be growing together? How can I not be happy? If you win, I win. We're only 4%.
Come on, as you say, come on.
Come on.
Yeah, so Wealth Wednesdays. What's Wealth Wednesdays all about?
So Wealth Wednesdays is me just giving tips on a Wednesday about how you can build wealth, how you can make your money grow, the serious stuff. Yeah. Wealth Wednesdays is just about how you can grow in regards to actually what is wealth. And sometimes people think wealth is the money. A lot of the time, wealth is your mindset. Wealth is your outlook on life. Wealth is your motivation. Wealth is how much you believe in yourself.
Wow.
So that's what we're talking about on a Wealth Wednesday. It's not necessarily about, oh, go open an ISA or whatever, which is important, but that's more Finance Friday. Wealth Wednesday is more about the wealth that you want to generate, or the things that you want to see. What attitude do you have? What are you doing? What's driving?
So it's about the mindset.
It's the mindset. It's
how to
and that's the power.
Yeah.
That's the power. Because when you have the right mindset, you're moving in the right direction, you have a plan, and you put it into action, you'll see the wealth will be the byproduct of your productivity.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Emmanuel's he's teaching us here, man. He's teaching us. I'm really getting into this. If you've just joined us, we're live on YouTube and Facebook. Our YouTube page is Omega Live TV. For those that are not Facebook people, you know what I mean, you like YouTube, share this link, because this guy's giving us some great advice. He's told us about, you know, where he's come from, about his organization, Noir Excel, and now we're talking about, you know, what he does on social media. Social media is so powerful. Do you think it's helped you as a brand and your business? Well, that's a silly question. It has, but I mean, how effective has it been?
I think it's been amazing, because when I started, I tell people all the time, when I started, I used to post and I would write stuff. I think, no, this one's gonna bang. People are gonna love this one, and you put it out there, and like 2 days later, like 10 likes.
Wow.
And you're like, wow, it's like that, yeah? It's like that. So, but it's learning it, developing it. But now it's giving me a platform to the point where, you know, people stop me and like, oh yeah, aren't you that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, your quotes are in my WhatsApp group. So people that have never met me.
Yeah.
So they'll come to us, so they'll never see my stuff, and then someone will tell them, and then they'll go on the page and like, oh yeah, I've seen your quotes in my WhatsApp group from time. And it's like, imagine something that I've taken time to write here are now in people's WhatsApp groups. One woman, she messaged me and said that every quote that I put on, she screenshots it from Instagram and sends it to her son as he goes to school as motivation.
Amazing.
And it's like, imagine if I just decided that I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
Imagine the impact that we're having on someone else's life because I decided to walk in my destiny. But too many of us don't want to walk in our destiny because it's easier just to get a job, get by, go home at 5, watch EastEnders, go to sleep. Do you know what I mean? And I don't knock anyone that wants to do that, because life is hard and we're all coming from different places. But all I want to encourage people is that if you've got it inside you, do it, because you don't know the impact you're going to have on someone's life. I'm touching people's lives that I've never even met.
Yeah, well,
People
you
meet
definitely
me.
touch mine.
People meet me and hug me like they know me,
Yeah.
and I've never met them.
And that's the feeling you get when you see you on social media. It's like, you feel like I know him, like, because you connect so much with the audience.
It's amazing.
You're so open and honest, and you know, you're genuine. It's like, it feels genuine what you're doing, because there's so much people on Instagram that are financial advisors giving financial advice, trying to, you know, sell insurance and all that kind of things. But it's, with you, it's like, it's your gift.
Yeah.
It feels like that's what God has called you to do, because you could have been an accountant.
I
like
could have gone down that route.
You could have been an accountant because that's what you studied.
Yeah.
But what you're branding yourself as and what you really are is not an accountant.
No.
It's, you know, you're actually helping people's lives. You're changing people's lives around.
Yeah.
Have you had testimonies that, Emmanuel, you've changed my life? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, the amount of testimonies I have is unbelievable. Like the impact, and that's what makes me keep going. Because sometimes you say to yourself, listen, if I'm being honest, I can make more money doing a 9 to 5 in the city than I can doing this. If I'm being honest, I was earning over 100K, and now I'm nowhere near that. Do you know what I mean? But for me, what is value? To me, the value is the impact. It's the legacy. I can sit in an office job and I'll get a great pension and I'll get great benefits and I'll drive a great car. But while I look out of my window, I will see my people suffering. And for me, I said to myself, I would rather have a lesser car, have a smaller house, but have a legacy that when the people see my children, they say, oh, are you Emmanuel's son? Are you Emmanuel's daughter? Your dad helped, or my dad always talks about your dad, and that's what motivates me. And yes, I still want to, you know, be rich and all of that, and that will come with time. That will be a byproduct, and I will do it in a way that will not change the person that I am, because I really care. And I remember when I started my business, it was so difficult, because when you care and someone comes to you and says they're in debt issues, you want to help them, but you know they can't afford to pay you for your time. But I would just help. And then I got bombarded to the point where now I was helping so much people, I was actually, it wasn't helping me. I wasn't having time with my family. So I had to respect myself and my business, and actually start to put costs and charges, and also get commitment. Because sometimes until people have paid for something, they're not really committed. You haven't really got their buy-in into that. And so now I look at...
They'll take advantage.
Exactly, and I look at the whole charging thing completely different. I'm not charging you because to necessarily just to benefit me. I'm charging you for the 10, 12 years of experience that it took to be able to help you. But I'm also charging you so that you can be serious enough to say that you're going to actually commit to the plan that we put in place. And as people have paid that money, the changes that they've seen, I've had people that, you know, they come to a meeting, they pay 200, 300, 400 pounds for a meeting, depending on the complexity of what they want to do. But now, I got one, she's saving £1,000 a month.
Wow.
She went from a place of being in her overdraft to understanding money and learning it, and now she's able to save £1,000 a month, earning the same money that she was overspending beforehand.
Wow.
And so if it costs you £300 or £400, but at the end of the year, you've now got 12,000, wasn't that a good investment? Or 6,000 or 4,000. Before you was having nothing. Before you were living paycheck to paycheck, and you're just living in a rat race. And you're
not even paycheck to paycheck.
Come on.
3 days after payday,
you're gone, and you're saying, what am I doing? And so sometimes if you can invest in yourself and then see that change, where you don't. When my clients finishing me, after 4 or 5 months, they don't even know what payday is anymore. Because they live within their means.
I need to come and see you.
Do you understand? They don't know what what payday is anymore. And sometimes that doesn't mean necessarily that because their income. No, sometimes I'm going to have to challenge you and say, look, not only do we need to reduce, but we need to increase. So where are we going to get this extra income from? What are you prepared to do? Because you're telling me you want to live a lifestyle. You're telling me you want change, but then you're telling me you want to do the same things you've always been doing and expect a difference. That's insanity.
You have multiple gifts in one. It's amazing.
So
you must be a really good dad. Talking about being a dad, you have 4 beautiful children.
4 kids, yeah.
And how do they see daddy? Like, do they see daddy as the money guy?
They know
do they understand what you do?
Yeah, they know what I do.
Have you seen traits in them already? Like,
nah, not yet, not yet. Not like I would want them to be, but they're gonna get there. But they know I'm the money guy. They know. Like, I ask them, what does daddy do? Daddy makes money.
That's amazing.
They know that. We have that call from the beginning, and a little water.
Okay, we have Emmanuel in the studio. He's the founder of Noir Excel, and he has been he still is a financial advisor, but now he's, doing this, serving the black community thing, and he's amazing at what he does. I mean, if you've just tuned in, he's spoken about so many things, his childhood to university, the hustle and working for banks, and now he's a family man here doing his thing. Yeah. I mean, he's going to be on Channel 4 soon. Let's talk about that.
Oh my goodness.
I know you can't talk about it too much.
No, we can talk. It's coming out. It's coming out.
Okay,
it's coming out.
I know sometimes you can't really.
No, we can talk about it.
So how did you get that role? Because you're with some high-flying women on that show. Like, I went to their profiles and they're like,
God.
They're in a different league. I'm not saying you're not.
Yeah,
but do you know what I mean?
Yeah, come on.
How did you get on that show?
You know what? I have to thank my sister, Bola Soul. I don't know if she also does finance.
Okay. Your real sister?
No. She's like.
Just your.
Yeah. So she's proper like my sister. We're very, very close, and she is on Twitter. Okay. So I'm not really good at the Twitter typing thing.
You know what? Twitter is so powerful.
Twitter is really powerful. So she's on Twitter. Also, she's on Instagram, but she's on Twitter. Yeah. And so she's good at writing blogs and stuff like that and so forth. And she's got this big following on Twitter. Okay. And so the people that were doing the show approached her. Oh, okay. And so she auditioned, and then her audition went really well. And then they asked her at the end of her audition, they're looking for people. Does she know anyone? Oh, wow. And then she was like, yeah, my bro Emmanuel. She gave them a number. Oh, wow. And then she called me after. She's like, I gave these people your number. I don't know if they're going to call you. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, but I just wanted you to know. The next day they called me. Wow. And then I did my audition. It was successful. Then we did a second round of auditions, and it was both successful. And then we went to the actual day where we had to come in, and they were filming us.
Can you imagine the person that introduced you to the people, she didn't even get through to the show?
She didn't, in the end, she didn't. But she blessed me.
Yeah, she did.
And
she was your destiny helper.
Exactly. And I've just seen so much blessings for her since. And that's another thing that I always tell people is sometimes you can be a blessing to someone, but don't feel that you're not going to be blessed. Like, she's not doing bad not being on the show. She's doing so many amazing things. And she's more happy for me than I am. When I was out there, she was calling me, she's telling me, send me pictures. And
because it's big. I mean, it's a good look.
It's amazing. This television thing is a next level. It's another world that we just don't know about. Do you know what I mean?
What's the show all about?
So the show is basically about money, and it's about money and relationships. So basically there's 4 of us, and then people come on in 2s. So we have sisters, we have father and son, mum and daughter, husband and wife, and there's an issue. There's a financial issue there. And so what happens is that it plays out that, you know, someone's hiding something from the other one, and then they come and find out on the show. And we talk about the fact that people can be so close to one another, but when it comes to money, you're just not going to tell that person because money is a taboo. And I was telling people the other day, we've got a whole show on television where people are naked. On the same Channel 4, people are naked. And nobody complains, nobody sees it as anything. But how many money shows do we have? How many shows do we talk? Because people don't want to come on and talk about money. Because it's very sensitive. Because you feel that when someone knows my salary or someone knows you feel like they're going to look down on you.
Or vulnerable.
Come on. And so the show is all about getting people to talk, because actually when you start to share your money issues with the people, and you see it in the show, when you start to share it, not only do you lift that burden, because money is one of the things that is causing people to have depression, causing people to really feel low, causing people to it's a real burden to a lot of people, because some people, you're in a position where you can only make so much, and you just think, you see people that you might have gone to school with, people you might have been around, and they look like they live, especially on social media. Everybody's on a yacht now.
Famous friends. I mean, half of the people I went to school with are famous.
Come on.
On a real. Like, come on.
So it's one of those things where you just...
But fame doesn't mean that you have wealth.
Come on.
Fame doesn't mean you're rich.
No, it doesn't. And that's why you see that a lot of footballers, I'm talking a lot of them, footballers being the people that probably earn the most, within 10 years of them retiring, most of them will go bankrupt.
It's true.
Because, and I always tell people, having more money will not solve your problem if you don't know how to manage it. If you don't know how to use money properly. But we always say, if I only earned this, if I only earned more, I'll be better. And then you earn more, and you're still in the same situation. Because it's about education and learning how to make money work for you.
Okay, we've gone silent, but yeah. Yes, I thought you were still talking.
What was I talking about? You know what I mean? When I start talking about money, I'm so gone.
Okay, we was talking about the show.
The show,
We was talking about the show.
So the show, so yeah.
We've been a bit off track. We were talking about the show. I was asking you about, you know, how you got on the show, and then I asked you what the show was about.
Yes, so it's all about money and relationships, and so you got me and Anne Wilson. She's from South Africa, multi-millionaire.
Yes,
built herself.
I went to her page.
She built herself.
You have Anne Wilson. You have Bianca Miller.
She came second in The Apprentice, and she's doing bits. When it comes, there's nothing that comes out about business that Bianca don't know. People would try and knock her, because she was on The Apprentice, that's why she... Listen,
I didn't even know she was on The Apprentice until
Bianca
recently,
knows,
because I don't watch The Apprentice, I'm not going to lie.
Not only does she know her stuff, like she lives it.
Yeah.
She lives business. There's nothing about business Bianca doesn't know. There's nothing about business that Bianca hasn't experienced. She's been opening business since she was a child.
Yeah, she had the stockings. I know her from
from the stockings,
the new tights. That's how I know Bianca Miller.
But that was on The Apprentice. That was her idea on The Apprentice, was the tights.
Oh, okay.
And then he chose something else and fought him.
And then Anna Williamson.
Anna Williamson from, I don't know if people watch Celeb Go Dating. So Celebs Go Dating, but she's not just like when I saw her.
It's nice that they have a mixture of people, because she's the coach. She's the one to bring be the moderator, bring the advice,
Exactly, and also like you see her on Celebs Go Dating, you assume that she's just a personality, but actually she's a qualified relationship person. She's actually got qualifications, not in just relationship, in like mind coaching and life coaching.
She's a real life coach.
She's a real life coach, and when I tell you, she knows there's nothing that she can. She'll talk to you for 10 minutes. She'll know the type of habits and behaviors that you have.
Psychology.
She knows all that psychology, all of
Yeah.
that. She's amazing, and she's a
So
lovely person.
what has that show taught you?
You know
Apart
what?
from the knowledge and all the experience you have, what has that, what has that taught you? Something new. Tell me something new that show taught you.
I don't know about new, but something that it definitely reaffirmed was that collaboration is best. And it's so powerful when we can go into a room, and yes, I have my own ideas, but Anne will have her ideas, and when we come together and we're thinking about the best recommendation, we can challenge each other on our recommendation. And it's that whole not being an island. I think sometimes we all want to be self-employed and have our own business, but sometimes you need to have people around you that you can bounce ideas off, because actually you were on the right track, but you just missed a little thing, or you just missed something that they said, and the other person picked it up, and actually that changes the whole recommendation that you would have made. And so it's about being that team, it's that collab, it's that energy, it's that motivation. When you're tired, there were long days on set, long days filming, and yet we could pick each other up, we could push each other, we could crack jokes, we could make each other smile, and we really became a team and a family. And these are people that I've just met for the first time in my life. So yeah, it was amazing.
So when do we see this show? When does it air on Channel 4?
Yeah, good question. So official
He's
day.
going to be a superstar. Like, I tell you, anyone that comes on this show, when they leave, superstar.
I take it. Come on, I take that. Amen to that.
It.
So it's coming out the 11th of the 11th. So next month,
Oh, wow.
Channel 4, 8 o'clock, prime time. You're gonna see us.
Wow, amazing. We can't wait. So
6 weeks, by the way. 6 weeks.
Oh, it's a 6 week show.
6 weeks episodes. Yeah,
Okay.
6 episodes. Yeah.
They might call you back. You might be like
We can get
Uncle
season 2,
Dr.
season
Phil. You
come
might be
on.
like Dr. Phil in a
Come
few years'
on.
time.
Why not?
Have your own show.
Right? Me, I take it all. I take it all.
Oh my gosh. So going back to being a father,
Yeah.
what are you teaching your own? Well, I think we covered that, but are you actually, they're young, yes, but have you started teaching them anything? Even though you said you can't see the traits, but what advice would you give parents about teaching your children, the little things like saving, money box? Because back in the day, my mum, we used to have the money box, and I mean, but what stories do you tell them, like at bedtime, about money, or just something that can stay in their head so they know that maybe spending £3, or like my son, for instance, he's addicted to this new Calypso drink. It's £3.
The drink, Calypso.
The drink is £3.
How have you bought it for him? I have to look at you.
But I don't buy it. No, I said to him, "How much is that drink, Micah?" And he said it's £3. I was like, £3. Do you know how many drinks I can buy with that, or even how many cartons of water?
Come on.
Someone's selling Calypso, new Calypso in a bottle. I said it's the bottle. Maybe it's the bottle that costs £3. I don't know what. Do you understand? But from a young age, what little advice can you give to parents that they can give to their children, even as little as 4 or 5? Just stories that can stay in the mind. To teach about money. Yeah,
I think for me, it's about teaching them, number one, teaching them about money. So understanding that when they go to a shop and say, "Can I have that?" No, that costs money. And you don't make money. I make money. I work hard for my money. So I don't just spend money anyhow. You have to prioritize. Do you need that? So let them understand they don't really need that. You want it, but you don't need it. And understanding no. I think a lot of parents are afraid to tell their children no because they're going to cry. Listen, you're going to cry. When you finish crying, I'm still going to be here. So it's about understanding no, because in life, you will hear no. People say, "Oh, man, they've done so well." If you know how much no's, how much rejection, how much turn away, how many times I had to cry in the pillow, how many times I shut the light, off the light, close my head and say, "God, why?" But now I'm out here, you're thinking, "Emmanuel, wow, this is great." Now, there's so many rejections along the way. And so we have to teach them that, you can't always get what you want.
Yes.
But then even when you get, doesn't mean because you get it, you must spend all. If I give my child £10, £2, at least £2 must go into savings.
That's true.
And then you put £2, because at the end of the day, in life, you'll pay tax, no? There'll be tax.
Definitely.
So when you go to work and you make all your money, you're not going to claim all of that. You're going to get paid tax. And when you get your pay slip, you say, "Oh, this," and then you look on the left and you say, "Nice." When you look on the right, you say, "Oh." And so you understand that there's tax. So when they get the money, there's tax. You put that away. Then, now you've got, let's say you've got 80% left. Then with 30%, put away for the long term. Put it away. And then 50%, look at what you want to get. But maybe because you only got 50%, you can't buy what you wanted to get. So now you have to put that away and to add enough to get what you want to get. And you set yourself a goal, you set yourself targets. So even in my house, They do chores. I don't pay them to do chores.
Okay.
Because they're supposed to do chores.
Yes.
But when they do something that is beyond what I feel that they could, I will give them money.
Then you give them
I'll give them money.
£2 or
Give them
£1,
something.
yeah.
And put in your money tin. And let your money tin shake. Yes, I'm building. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And get them into numbers. So for me, because I'm about money, I try and do maths with them.
Yes.
I try and do that and say, look, this is maths, this is numbers.
Yeah.
Let's get some money. Look, if we add this, what do we get? And you just encourage money. You get them to understand that money's there. Oh, I want PlayStation.
Because I think it's important to talk about it from a young age. Because I mean, my parents didn't do that.
No.
I never heard about money. Never heard about the importance of saving. You know, or even mortgage. I mean, if we go deep, we'll be here forever.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
No, but that's why it's important. And I start saying, even like on the weekend, I went to a mum's group. And I think it's so important for mums. Like, I don't want to put pressure on mums, but I feel like it's so important.
No,
like,
put pressure on us. It's important.
Like, because mums have got so much pressure, so much things. But I feel like when it comes to finance, you got to equip yourself. Don't wait for the dad, or even if you're a single parent, whatever, don't wait for anyone. You come and learn it, and you teach that child about money. Understand finances so that you can help your children. You might say, oh, I'm a single parent, so money's tight. Well, get that wealth of knowledge so that your child doesn't have to have money as tight.
We have you now.
I know.
We have the saviour.
No, I hear you. But the thing is, the event I did on Saturday was free, yeah? And there wasn't that many people that turned up. But if that was a MUA class, it'll be packed, because that's what we're thinking about. Our packaging, how we look. But we understand there's this special app, and it tells you the truth, and it's called online banking. And you see, when you go online banking, it doesn't matter if your eyebrow is ting or you're glistening. It will tell you what's really there. Do you understand? And so when we start to understand the reality, because we're very much about packaging. We're very much about, when I go out, people will not know where I'm come from. Even if I live in a house that's infested, council flat, no bed, I don't have, my socks have holes in it. When you see me, you smell me, the way I will talk, you will assume that I'm doing well. And that's what we're taught. But actually, when we see our counterparts from other cultures, Bill Gates, have you ever seen him in a designer clothes?
It's true, and
Mark Zuckerberg, have you ever seen him? They don't even wear brands.
Richard Branson.
Why? Because they've got online banking.
I think Richard Branson just now started doing endorsement deals.
Come on.
With, like...
He's got his own island. He's got online banking. Do you understand?
He even goes to space.
Come on. And we're here flaunting and pretending like wearing, I've got Gucci, I've got Armani, I've got I'm driving this, driving that. And you know that there's nothing. You're eating cheese and bread. Not even toasted. So
going back to your wife, how important is it as a family man to include your wife in what you're doing? Because, someone could be like you and just just think their wife is the housewife, or she's got her thing going on at home, but you really include your wife in everything you're doing. And so how important is it to do that?
For me, it's so important, because I don't have my business without my wife. I tell people the story that basically Noir Excel, I was doing presentations in churches.
Okay. And
so I was waiting for churches to book me and come and give financial talks in churches. And churches were taking time. Some didn't want to pay, some didn't. It was getting difficult. And my wife said to me, babe, why are you waiting for churches? Why don't you set up your own business and go and do it yourself? That's Noir Excel. You see, for me, when it came to marriage, I had to find a life partner. I had to forget beauty, even though my wife is very, very pretty. Forget nails.
Model.
Yeah, forget nails, forget bum, forget all of that. All of those things are great. But you see, it's about someone that's ready to come along the journey. I tell people, well, not only did she do that, for me to start the business, I had to use our savings that we were going to use to buy a house to invest in the company. Today, we're still renting. But you see, next year I'm about to buy my first house. Within the 3 years, I'll buy 3 or 4. But that's going to come through the investment of my business. And that's the difference. A lot of people are buying houses just to tell people, yeah, I'm on the property now.
I got a house.
Oh, I got a house. But you see, when I buy a house with purpose. And I'm not buying one.
And you're
I'm
so
buying
honest.
2,
Look,
3, 4.
someone would come and they won't even say that I haven't got a house yet.
But I haven't got to be embarrassed, because I've got a business that's generating income. A lot of people have got a mortgage, and it's 60% of their income. They're struggling to pay it every single month. They pay their mortgage and they can't go out. They can't do nothing in life.
Wow.
I've created a business that will not only provide me an income, my wife an income, my children an income for futures to come. So why should I be embarrassed? Everyone has their thing in their own time.
Yeah.
Not because you did yours at 21 and I did mine at 35, I'm a failure.
So you created a video on managing household income and spending, and this is what we're talking about, like being real and how to manage your finances and having the right partner. All this. It's like
And my wife she's better at money than I am.
Wow.
Because my wife, she comes straight from that. She's a freshie, so she's come from that. She's a freshie, so obviously I wasn't born here. I was privileged,
So she was born back home.
She was born back home.
She's hard.
So she's hard. Yeah. My wife will say, can you imagine? I went to go and buy it and it was so expensive. How much? £2.50. I said for £2.50 you'll get on a bus to travel to Peckham. Rather than just buy it here. That's the type of type that she is.
Because she suffered.
She's seen what real life is. So for her,
so she appreciates
money.
That's so
and also because of that, when she came around me, she wasn't impressed with my money. That was one thing that made her different from all the other girls. She wasn't, I'll buy her flowers, I'll buy her this. She was like, okay, I just want to chill. Can we just chill? Once we go to these restaurants, I don't even know which knife is knife, which fork is fork. Can we just go to KFC and just sit in the car and talk, listen to some music?
I guess that's why you married her.
And that's now we're here. So for me, it's about having that partner that you can trust. And so with my wife, she's not afraid to challenge me. Why? Because I'm the wife, so my wife can't tell me, babe, what you're doing is wrong. If she doesn't tell me, we'll fall off the cliff and find out together. It's better she tell me and hurt my feelings. Do you understand? And then we can solve our problems. So for me, I've got a partner, not on some just 50-50. I mean partner,
a real one.
like real, like
you're a living example of
if we gotta have
so many things, Emmanuel.
If we gotta have that hard talk, we have it, and we cry, and then we finish, and then we go to bed, and we wake up, and tomorrow's another day. Like it's a real partnership. It's not some fake. Oh yeah, we're just doing bougie lifestyle at all.
So you have 4 children.
4 of them.
4 beautiful children, like I said. How do you have the balance? Okay, so you've got your beautiful wife, you spend time with her, you do everything. But how do you have balanced time with the kids? And you have to give each child, show them that, I love you. But you have to do it 4 times, I love you, I love you. I mean, how do you do it? How's your household like? That's what I'm interested in.
I think it's been a challenge. This is one thing that it has been a challenge. And it's been a challenge for me and my wife because actually, because we're doing business, I've got my business, she's got her business. We're both doing that. We've got the children. We're both, we do
and
all that we can.
They're under 10, aren't they?
Yeah, so the oldest is 7, the youngest is 8 months. So they're all in between that gap. So we balance the children, so then the children come. So sometimes it was getting to the point, we were like ships in the night. By the time I've come, I'm putting this one to bed, she's there, she's got cakes to do, finish for her orders, and so we weren't having time together. But when it comes to the kids, just phone me. I make sure I have a lifestyle that I can be around my kids, because my dad couldn't be around. Do you know what I mean? Because he was studying ACCA's, accountancy, and doing securities. He come over here, do you know what I mean? He had to start from the bottom. I didn't have to do that. So for me, I've got a lifestyle where I can tell my work, listen, I can't come, I'm coming in later because I've got to take the kids to school, or I've got to pick them up, and that's the lifestyle I want to be. So for the kids, I'm around them, and now me and my wife are working out how we can spend more time. So now we do things like date nights at home, because we've got the brand new baby. So we'll put her to sleep, and then we'll get the little table, put candles, and we do our own little date night, because we can't afford to go to Hakkasan and all of that right now. We've got 4 kids.
Sexy fish.
You understand all of that?
Fish. I don't even know the names of that.
All of these things. We haven't got time for that, but we got time for each other. So we realize the importance of time, and actually time is what we're trying to give one another.
So you being a British born and she being from back home, this question's not about you two, but it's about, I'm just going to say it as I wrote it. What do Africans do when it comes to finances, and what do they do well when it comes to finances, and what do they do bad?
I've always said, with our people, we have always made money. Making money is not a problem. You go and see Auntie. Auntie's got 3-4 jobs. We're not hustling. Look, when you go to the toilet in the club, is one of us there ready to sit down while everybody's doing nonsense and give you lollipop? We're ready to hustle. We're ready to take whatever job. Making money has never been an issue for us. We've always been about making money. The problem is that we also enjoy to spend. We live to impress others, and so we will
and
live.
This is probably as a black, people as
we will live to impress somebody that we don't even really know, that doesn't even really care. When we're sick, do they phone us? When we need something, are they there to help us? But yet we want to show for them. That's why on Sunday we'll wear our best clothes and come out. But we know Monday we're finished. Do you know what I mean? We're not Monday, we don't know where our left is right. That's why Saturday, when it's time for party, we never finish party. Even when party finished, we're going to another party.
It's true. We just want to enjoy.
We just want to live. And so when we can understand that there's time for everything, there's a time to enjoy, but there's a time to save. There's a time to stay at home. There's a time to go out, and we balance.
Definitely.
That's how we build.
So how does someone with a poverty mindset, you know, change to have a...
It starts from within. And that's where I start. That's where we start.
Like
it starts from within.
Quickly, like you tell us, like how would you, like I've come to you and I have this poverty mindset. I've come from a poor background. I just don't understand all this wealth, you know, creation. And like how would you start imparting? It
starts with your why. I'll tell you, what's your why? What makes you wake up in the morning? Why do you get up? What do you want to achieve? What's your reason for living? And when you realize that, then we say, okay, where do you want to take that why? How do you see that why manifesting itself? And then when we then get to, you then start to create goals for yourself. You start to then create a lifestyle that you want to live. You then start to build an image of yourself living a life beyond where you are.
And would you do this in one consultation, or does it take...
It takes coaching, but it's one consultation to begin with.
Okay.
Because everyone's at different places. So we sit down and then we go again. So for someone that's deep in debt, there's no point us talking about houses and let's get this debt off. Let's get rid of this one. What are we going to do that? For somebody that maybe has money left over, but they don't know what to do with it, then we can start to build. Where do you want to go? What do you want to... But it's all about creating a difference. If you've got a mindset of, I'm here today, and you're stuck in that, we now need to make your mind think about where you could be. And what's the thing stopping you? And the number one thing that's stopping you is you. You are stopping yourself from reaching your goals. You are stopping yourself because of the things that you choose to do that you don't have to do. Like the things that we decide to watch on social media.
Free consultation. Free consultation.
Like the things we decide to watch on social media, the things that we decide to watch on television, the things that we decide to read. We're reading The Sun instead of reading books to educate ourselves. And so what you put in, that's what you will take out. And so when you realize that and start to put in knowledge, wisdom, empowerment, belief, self-control, when you put that into yourself, you can only take out greatness. But if you're putting in rubbish into yourself, you will only take out rubbish.
Wow. Emmanuel, we've heard a lot from you. I mean, you've told us some amazing things, and it's been fun. You haven't bored me at all.
I try my best.
And I get bored very easily, guys. Like, I can be off in like 2 seconds. If you've just joined us, we've been talking to Emmanuel, who is the founder of Noir Excel. He's going to talk about the services that Noir Excel provide. But before he goes on to that, before we finish, because it's been amazing having Emmanuel here, but we could talk till tomorrow morning about money and wealth creation and health is wealth and all that stuff. What I really want to ask you is, what challenges have you faced as a black man in... I don't want to sound like I'm some Black Panther, because I'm not even like that, but what challenges have you faced as a black man in the corporate world, which is predominantly a white man's field? It's just now, I'd say, it's just over the last 10 years, a lot of black men have gone into finance and, you know, the percentage is rising of, you know, accountancy in black, you know, in our culture and stuff like that. But before that, like back in the day, in finance or trading, and it was just white men. Even America, Wall Street, it was just white men. You just see the odd black people here and there. So you must have faced some challenges in your career. Can you tell us about one that maybe knocked you, or you know what I mean? Or
I feel like, you know what, it's even happened this year. So I haven't faced that many challenges when I was younger because I was on the come up. And my mindset was different, and it was refreshing. So people gravitated towards me. They wanted to give me an opportunity because they hadn't met a young black man like me before. And so they wanted to give me an opportunity. They wanted to mentor me. And so I had a lot of mentors, mainly white men, that were mentoring me and supporting me and helping me and changing me and molding me. So for me, I've had that privilege. So I wouldn't say necessarily in the workplace that way. Where it's come is when you want to reach the next level.
That's it.
So where I want to be my own boss, where I want to go for senior positions, where you start to tell them, listen, I need to make bigger money. Like, that's where you start the challenges of coming. And one of the companies that I worked for at the beginning of this year, they just didn't get me. They just felt like although the clients really liked me, that I just didn't fit in with the other. It's mainly a men-orientated company, and I didn't fit in with the other white males because I didn't speak like them, I didn't think like them, I didn't drink like them because I don't drink, and so it became an issue, and then before you know, they made me redundant. And at first, I said to myself, you know what? It was painful. It was, am I not good enough to be at this elite level? Because I was finally at a big company. They only deal with most people, the average client, 2-3 mil, big. And I said, yes, I've made it. And then I said to myself, I couldn't cut it. Maybe I'm not good enough. But no, it was God moving me. That wasn't what He called me for. And so in the time of rejection, in the time of being down, you would tell yourself, I failed. But actually, from there, I went into the Noir Excel full time. From going into the Noir Excel full time, I've now got onto the television. I've now got a great contract that I'm doing in a really nice company, paying me 3 times what I was earning at the last place. And I've got the flexibility that I need to do what I need to do. So actually, what was happening is that I was forcing myself to be in a place that wasn't for me. And so that rejection I needed was actually God saying, no, son, I've got more for you.
Better.
I've got better for you. But I need to mold you. Because you know what He needed to do? God needed to humble me. Because you see, sometimes when I want to bless you, if I bless you while you're already blessed, you think it's you. But if I humble you and then I bless you, you know where it came from.
Exactly.
And so that's what had to happen to me. And so now when we're on television, I can't change. No money can't change the person that I am. No amount of walking around with celebrities or can change the person that I am, because I know where I come from. I know where I'm rooted. Do you understand? And so I know what I've been through. I know where I was at the beginning of the year compared to now. So whether I'm on Channel 4 or not, I know the God that I serve and what He's done for me. So yeah.
Amazing. You're such a lovely guy. Like, honestly,
thank you.
I don't know, with the Emmanuels I get on this show, they're just lovely guys, man. They're just lovely guys. So Noir Excel, let's talk about what you do, because I've written it down here so I don't miss out. You do budgets and planning, mortgages, saving plans, retirement plan, debt management and credit repair, property plan, investment strategy. I mean, what don't you do?
You know what it is that I know people are at different places.
Oh,
and so for me, I don't want you to come on the Noir Excel and feel like there's not something for you.
So you work in partnership with other people?
I work in partnership, so I've got mortgage advisors that I work, although I'm a qualified mortgage advisor, I've got mortgage advisors that I work with.
And you're a chartered financial...
I wish. No, I'm not chartered.
You're not chartered?
No. But I am qualified. I am a qualified financial.
Not chartered?
Not chartered, no.
Hey, where did I get that information?
I don't know. I'm not chartered. I haven't done that exam yet.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm too busy making this money.
Okay.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, no, I'm a qualified, regulated financial advisor. So
that's what I meant.
Yeah, so regulated, So
regulated.
If you go into the FCA register, you can type the name, it comes up. That's how you know if somebody's a qualified financial advisor. They're on the register.
Like a sports agent.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So you're with the FIFA.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, we're there.
Yeah.
So yeah, qualified, and yeah, so that's what we do. I want to make sure that if you're at the beginning, I don't want you to feel like, finance is not for me. It's for you.
And what I want people to understand is that even if you're on a salary of like $1,000, they can come to you.
Of course.
Because, like you said, people feel vulnerable when they're not earning a lot, or they feel like, oh, but this money finishes anyway, so how am I can't even budget this money because it goes anyway. But you've taught us and you've said to us that you've helped people that are on low income save, like people on overdraft, save £1,000 a month.
Come on.
So...
Change your spending habits,
no
change what you're doing.
situation is hopeless.
Sometimes you're limiting yourself. Why you're earning £1,000, but you have the skills and qualities and the abilities of somebody that's earning £3,000 or £4,000. So now we need to create the opportunity to get that. And how do we create the opportunity? We change where you are to where you want to be. And so sometimes it means that you're earning £1,000 now, but in the evening you're studying something different. You're doing a course to get you so that you can now walk in there with confidence.
And this is what Noir Excel is all about, isn't it? Educating.
It's all about educating.
Changing the mindset.
Everyone comes to me and thinks it's just about investing. It's not. Like when you come to me, I'm going to help you.
Because to be honest, on the onset, when I saw your whole, like your page, I was just thinking, another one of these. But I had to look deep and understand you as a person. And I realized that, you're not like the others that I'm seeing. There's something different about you. You're really teaching people. You take time to put on events. you know, and you got time, you teach, like, you're doing amazing stuff, Emmanuel.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And that's why I wanted you on Gold Diggers, because you're a perfect example of a gold digger.
Thank you.
And, you know, everyone that's been watching and has heard your story can tell that you are a gold digger, and you're still digging. You've been so honest about your life, the fact that you don't have a mortgage. I mean, stuff that hit me. That,
come on.
Do you understand? Because it's like people just assume everyone always has it all together.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you don't, but do you know what I mean? Like, people just assume if you're a financial advisor or you're in finance, then you got a house. Or do you know?
No, definitely. And I felt the pressure. So I almost bought a house for no reason. I almost, trust me, I was because I help people get houses every single day, being a mortgage advisor. So you help people get houses, and I felt the pressure. Oh, I must get, for who? Oh, you think? Oh, you don't want to come to me because I don't own a house. But that has nothing to do with whether I'm qualified to get you a house. That has nothing to do with the knowledge that I have. And so for me, it's one of those things where I had to say to myself, I know who I am, and if I'm comfortable in who I am and my own destiny, because I don't have a house, but you don't have a business, so we both don't have something in it. Do you know what I mean?
It's the truth.
It doesn't make a difference to me. I could have a house if I wanted to sit in a job and earn 9 to 5, but I chose a different route, and my houses will come, and all the other stuff will come, and it will come at the right time.
Yes.
Because how many people get a house at 21 and by 40 they've lost their job, and then the house has been taken away from them, or they've gone bankrupt, or do you understand that? When I look at Warren Buffett Buffett started making most of his money when he was older. When you look at Alan Sugar, all of these guys, a lot of them made it older. It doesn't mean that if you don't make it in your youth, you can't make it when you're older.
It's never too late.
Everyone's time is different. So you just focus on your lane and you'll get there.
Amen. It's been lovely having you on the show. Please let people know where they can find you. I mean, you guys, he's been here, he's spoken to us. If you haven't felt Emmanuel, then you're not a human being. And he is amazing. Like, he takes his time out to help anybody. So when he tells you where you can find him, go and find him. If you know that you're struggling financially, or you need advice, you need help to do anything to do with finances, he's the man. So Emmanuel, where can they find you?
I guess the main platform is Instagram. So that's Emmanuel Asuquo _NE.
Spell the Asuquo, because...
Okay, ASUQUO _NE. That's what it is on Instagram. It's kind of long. We're looking to change it. It's not going to be that. Because
you were Noir Excel before.
We were Noir Excel before, but I don't believe in limiting myself. So I'm on a platform now, and I'm going to be national. So me calling myself Noir Excel will make other people feel like they can't come to me.
Yes.
Now, we go to other communities all the time to spend our money. So why, when I want to do a business, I must only do it in my community? And so that's about branding and evolving over time.
You're a branding expert as well,
and so now I'm evolving. I said to myself, if I say Noir Excel, certain people will feel that they can't come to me.
Yeah, and it just sounds like it's only
for black people. Yeah. But I'm national now. I'm no longer only, not that I'm not going to still do Noir Excel and that's still not my passion, but at the same time, I've worked hard enough to get to a national platform. So I need to think about my brand and image and grow. And that's growth. And that's what it's about, and that's why I feel a lot of people relate to me, because they've seen me start out with, like, you know, no followers all the way to where we are today, and they know how far we're going.
So on Facebook, you're Noir Excel.
Facebook is Noir Excel, NOIREXCEL. Same thing on Twitter, Noir Excel, and then we've got the website www.noirexcel.com. There will be a new website coming out. Obviously branding and everything like that. There will be
Your branding's good, man. Don't beat yourself up too much. Your branding's on play.
So we're just trying to evolve. We just want to do better. I can't call myself Noir Excel. I can't say I'm about black excellence and not be that example. So I'm always trying to push. So if I'm good, I'm trying to be better. If I'm great, I'm trying to be better. And so that doesn't mean I don't make mistakes, but we just learn and we keep growing.
Wow, it's been amazing having you on the show.
We've
had Emmanuel on the show today, and he's just told us about his life story. He's the finance guy. If you want to make money, he's the one. If you want insurance, he's the one. If you want to buy a house, he's the one. I mean, anything to do with prosperity, Emmanuel is the one. He's told you where you can find him. His business is called Noir Excel. I think that's very easy to remember, even if you can't remember his name, because I can't even pronounce his. I'm terrible with names. But Noir Excel, just remember that. And you saw him on Gold Diggers. He's going to be on Channel 4, and after that, he's going to be a star. But just remember, you saw him here first.
We was here. We was here.
He was here. But thank you. We've run out of time. as I always say, thank you to my sponsors. Big thank you to Omega House Multimedia Company. Like I said, for all your multimedia needs, they're situated on West Green Road, right next to Uncle John's Bakery. So you don't even need to know the door number. Just look for Uncle John's Bakery. They're next door for all your multimedia needs. And we are back next week with another amazing guest. I can't wait to have her in the studio. So until next week, see ya.
See ya.
It's Monday. See ya.
Come on.